everybody, and welcome back to a Pathfinder 2nd Edition session. Didn't fuck it up this week. My name is Jake, and as always, I am your DM.
You're really playing real close to that line right now.
Yes. Playing with fire. Hi!
I've been a bit of time.
It has been. It's been about 2 weeks. Some shit popped off and then unpopped off, and then now my ankle keeps popping, and it's weird now. So,
Oof.
yes. No, TJ heard it through his headphones.
Oh!
Yeah, and then I had him move his foot because I was afraid he had just, cracked something.
Yeah, oof.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yeah, I can move my toes. I can mostly feel them. It's great.
He's also been resting on, he's sitting cross-legged with that one ankle under his leg.
Well, was.
So.
That's a terrible decision.
Yeah, but so is living in the modern era. So, you know.
You didn't get to decide that.
Every day he wakes up and chooses violence.
Every day I wake up and Endwalker isn't out.
Yes, hello, God has let me live another day, and I'm about to make it everyone else's problem.
Yes. This, but unironically.
The clan Fefwalla Creed.
Also not wrong.
Accurate. Accurate.
I was saying also not wrong. Also, Dan, you're currently not in Foundry?
I accidentally opened up one of the maps on the same tab.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought I'd pulled up a new tab.
That's fair.
No, I pulled up the bookmark while I had the Foundry tab open. Whoopsie.
Nope, that'll do it. Yeah, it'll fucking do it. I was like, hey, hold on, wait a minute, we're missing someone. At some point, Fef is going to have a fucking heart attack in the middle of the night. But live. Fef, it's a sign to not be such an agent of chaos. Fef. Nah. No.
No, I mean, I survived. Clearly the chaos is stronger.
Also, another addition people might notice, if you hover over other people's icons, you can now see how injured they are.
Oh, hey.
And this will help. This also includes enemy features as well. So I got a few automation modules basically while we were on our break.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Everyone's at 1 hero point.
Yes, and for that matter, everyone set themselves to 2 hero points because frankly I forgot to give out hero points last session when I meant to. So
All right.
Yeah.
A gift from the Lord.
It's funny because the Pathfinder 2nd Edition book is like, yeah, you as a DM, you should really give out a hero point once per hour every session. And I'm like,
what? We shouldn't have that kind of power.
Yeah, I was going to say, we would use that so badly.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's bad when even your players are like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, even my players are like, that's a bad idea.
Right. I feel like it's definitely something that should be, for a moment that really stands out or going above and beyond, using it as a reward for that.
Alternatively, I'm going to re-roll that alcohol check.
Every hour on the hour.
I will say, doing a hero point every hour does lessen the sting of rolling a 3 on your first and then rolling the hero point and getting like a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it would also lessen the high of...
Exactly.
Also, sometimes things just are not meant to be.
It's true. Especially when your DM is this forgetful bitch.
The dice tell a story.
Yeah. So, when last we left off, you guys had just successfully hunted some trolls. In that you were ambushed by trolls and countered them. Parry this, you filthy casuals.
Burn. Alakablam.
Exactly. Oh, Jesus Christ, Michael. Holy fuck.
Oh no.
What he put in the general chat of name pending.
Oh my god.
Talk about a glow up.
Wow.
So, afterwards, guys, spent a solid hour and a half to 2 hours trying to figure out, deciding your previous plan wasn't good and wanting to make a new plan, and deciding that the old plan was actually good, and going with the old plan.
A somewhat revised old plan, but basically the old plan nonetheless, yes.
Look, I had to get my digs in, alright? That shit was funny to me.
Understandably so.
Also, a dragon happened.
We're getting there. We'll get there when we get there. You guys gave the credit for the trolls and info on how to kill them to some local hunters. One of which seemed to be the party favorite seemed to be Shell, which a interesting Kunrasu.
Brother
what?
Exxon.
I'm sorry, a what?
A Kunrasu.
Gesundheit?
Wasn't that the guy in Waterworld?
Oh my god!
Hello, old friend.
That's not going to be enough.
There's another one in the fridge.
After that, you traveled west out of Cliffwatch to make your way to Miola, where man, you guys got really unlucky with the random encounter roll, and a young white dragon appeared out of the sky and attempted to make you its meal.
I'm just going to get this out of the way now because it won't leave my brain. How would you describe it? Is it far away or is it Miola near?
That's okay. I'm over here trying to make like NWA jokes about a young white dragon.
Oh no!
Sorry, I was making gas station jokes about Shell. I was asking if he had a brother named Exxon.
I'm genuinely not sure which I'm more mad about, actually, in that of the two of you.
I knew there was a reason that I didn't want to join. I want to be here tonight. This is it. Bye.
Young white dragon, actually, fuck you. Unfortunately for that dragon of unspecified color and age,
we're done here.
The dragon of unspecified color and origin. You have two rogues, a monk, and a monk. And the monk is frankly the most metal thing to walk this planet since a golem. And
What
quite
can I say? I know how to rock.
and roll. You quite literally beat a dragon to death with your bare hands. And after taking its what you could from its body, mainly parts,
Blood.
and blood. Blood is a part.
Yeah, okay.
Like that was so with the same energy of she got cum on her back in the video.
I'm not the one who got you demonetized this time.
We're not even 10 minutes in.
Look, we're a minute in, which is enough for the YouTube algorithm, and I'm so small, Twitch doesn't notice me. So,
God, I love that.
You might not want to follow up the porn joke with a "I'm small." I'm so small joke. Just saying.
anyways, you camped at the fucking crossroads south of Miola, and that's where we joined tonight's session. You guys are camped out. It's the evening. You're getting ready for camp. Do what you want, you fucking
Degenerates.
Thank you.
Oh, like
I'm
you
not
have
sure
room
weeks
to
worth of
speak
bullshit
on
to
that
get
one.
out. We're getting it out early.
Like, you say that as if you have room to call us, DJ.
Oh no, I assure you. I'm King Degen. That's why I'm sitting in this chair.
I
You
don't
think
know.
DM stands for Degenerate Master?
Oh. I mean, Dungeon Master works too. It's equally applicable.
That's true. There are a lot of degenerates in dungeons.
Is that a different system? A different D&D edition?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people make source books for that, so it's
Book
it's
of Erotic Fantasy exists. It's a thing.
I own it.
Bikini.
Why am I not surprised?
Because I was a horny teenager.
Also, hold on. Erotic Fantasy actually had like 2 really useful spells and 1 really busted ass prestige class.
Yes. And the rest.
Mirror talking and mirror walking was great.
Also, Pierce Monk was it?
Mm-hmm, because it lets you basically have 2 magic items in every magic item slot.
God.
The Book of Erotic Fantasy was really fucked up in terms of balance.
I'm pretty sure that the blood flow that was supposed to go to the brain for handling these balance decisions was probably being used elsewhere.
Oh, wait, there was one other thing that and Nymphology both had, if you needed it for your game, had actually like sensible hard rules for like half-orc and such, like gestation periods and all that. So that was useful.
Depending on what kind of game you're running.
Well, yeah, like if you left a town and like an NPC was pregnant, you could appropriately have the child born if they came back in time, sort of stuff is what I used it for.
Yeah. Also, I feel the need to it's a big ol' the old whose line bit. Whose line is it anyway? Fun for the whole family, depending on how you raised your family. Book of Erotic Fantasy is really useful, depending on what kind of what kind of game you run.
Oh Lord.
So
camp.
Yes.
Oh shit.
So it is, yeah, getting to be sundown. It's actually, you guys, it's been sundown for a while, I will say, as it is getting later into the evening, into the year, I should say, where it gets darker faster.
Winter. So, who do we want on watches then?
Yes, who will be first watch?
I'll go first.
Okay. Who will be doing first watch with Lorenz?
Spooky boy.
Hey. Okay, Zendros and Lorenz first watch.
Goth watch.
Goth watch takes entirely different meaning. Anyways,
Stop.
will be second watch.
Mahal take second.
Okay.
Fef will do second.
Okay. And that leaves Pax and Azalin for third watch.
Aslan will probably be on second watch too.
Also true.
She could do first and second, but no, that'll leave Pax all alone. Sad.
All by myself.
Look, that's probably a bad idea.
I mean, for multiple reasons.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that's probably a bad idea. It's kind of our party motto.
True.
I want to argue with that, but I can't.
We'd say our party motto is probably closer to, hey, it could work.
Technically correct.
Yeah.
The best kind of correct. Also, if anyone would like, here is some ambient music, if anyone would like that in the background, and to share ambient music between players.
Yes.
Since I get to listen to it without having the stream hear it. So, Lorenz and Zendros. As everyone else beds down for the evening, you guys get set up for your first watch outside. It is abysmally fucking cold out. It is definitely below freezing. Give me perception checks. Excellent. Okay. Jesus. And of course, everyone, don't forget your natural healing as you sleep. As the sun creeps down below the horizon and the night begins in earnest, with the stars beginning to come out, as you guys are actually way out in the middle of fucking nowhere at this point. Like even along the land road as you are, there's no real campfires around in the area that you're in. So you're just the only real company you have is each other, the sound of the fire, and the howling and whistling of the wind going across the snow plains.
Zundros making a real point to hover close to that fire.
That's fair.
Yeah. And
just using the firelight to inspect the claws that I got off the dragon, and otherwise keeping an eye out on things.
Okay.
Keeping a particular eye on any shadows cast by that fire, though. Being a little weird about it, for sure.
Yeah, Zundros just keeping an eye on things, too. He's actually, not in his books this time, actually doesn't want to have them out so close to the fire. Scared of them catching a light or something.
Yep.
That's fair.
Same boat. But yeah, just being a little touchy about the flickering shadows more expressly than the perimeter of the area. Perimeter.
Fair. That's fair. No, it is again fairly quiet, dark, and save of course the sky, which above you is just lit up with stars, uncountable stars, and a little later on in your watch, you notice a greenish, purplish light begin to appear in the sky above you that just dances and gives off an unnatural seeming light throughout the evening.
I don't like the look of that.
I'm definitely not sure if that's a good or a bad omen.
Guess we just keep an eye on it for now and see where it goes from here.
I suppose so. Decidedly uncivilized country. That's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, fair enough. Then, as your guys' watch comes to a close, you guys head back into the yurt, wake up Maha and Pax. No, I'm sorry, Maha and Beth. And Aslan is already awake by the time you guys head back inside. Guys, you three head out inside to the bitter cold of the evening. And And the lights that are dancing in the sky are still there as you.
I would like to offer one thing, Jake.
Yes.
It's not my watch. It's damn cold out there. It's warmer in the yurt. I'm staying inside.
That's fair. That is fair.
Right, valid.
Aslan absolutely just no. I'll take third watch. Fuck that.
I'm jealous.
Not going to be out there any longer than I need to.
Understandable. So, Beth and Maha, you guys are around the fire. Don't mind inventory over here. He's a good boy. He don't mean nothing.
Just an eldritch being just standing there, just a flat face watching us the whole time.
Father Feth?
You know, I'll take it.
Yes, I've deigned to join you as your inventory.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it.
Ow.
So, perception rolls for our watch then,
Yes.
I take it?
Please do. Beautiful. The duality of man. So, as you guys settle in, you also have the southern lights above you. And you are much the same as First Watch, left to your own devices. Although I will say, Mahajapit, you are more interested in the lights than really anything else. In terms of your surroundings.
Right.
And if you would like that, the reason why, please check the memes channel, as you are a meme.
Holy shit!
Wow.
That is certainly a thing.
The duality of man.
I'm a roll with that though, actually, because just again, Ma just always been one for trying to find and see new things, and he'd never seen shit like this before.
No, fair. But yes, you two are welcome to do whatever you interact as you wish.
Way out of my element here.
Yeah, Maha definitely just looking up at the lights, fascinated, and just kind of just glancing over to Fef of just. I take it you've done a fair bit of traveling around for mercenary work your clan does, right?
Never this far, though. Also going to have the crossbow at the ready. It's too quiet. Fef is not fond of this.
You ever seen anything like that in the sky?
Hey God, have I ever experienced this before?
No.
I have not. I actually want to like throw. I for flavor, since I'm pretty sure it won't matter, but I actually want to like start throwing out an occultism roll just to see if this is significant in any way.
Okay, sure. Not bad. From what you are aware, it is nothing to do with the occult. However, you're willing to throw out a nature check. Nature check if you'd like to. Hey, yeah, you know from those two rolls combined that the lights you're seeing in the sky are not magical in nature of any variety, but they are most definitely a phenomenon that occasionally occurs when you get further south or even further north past the northern reaches of the continent. You have heard of these mysterious lights that appear in the sky at night and give a beautiful light show. They are, to your understanding, primarily harmless. But no one's really quite sure why they happen. Something the believed theory is something to do with the gods.
Yeah, that's about right. I will, just for, unless you want me to try to do it in my own words, just for funsies. Let's say Fef went completely flat-voiced and mechanically repeated everything you just said because Father Fef is speaking through the no-brain goblin.
Hearing all this, Maha's just gonna slowly turn his eyes from the sky over towards Fef. Just
As you look at Fef,
mind.
Fef's eyes are filled with stars until the explanation ends, and then Fef returns to normal.
I think I caught all that, but I won't lie. I might have been a little distracted there.
I thought everybody knew that.
No, I can safely say that I didn't. I'm almost thinking that maybe it would have been better if I didn't, considering where that just came from.
Hi.
And here I thought I was the only one that actually had voices in my head.
I'm different from that.
Are you sure, though?
Mostly.
Also, just for Fef's sake, that "are you sure, though" was out loud.
Oh, I figured, just staring and taking a drink.
Oh,
God.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Well, this trip is certainly proving to be a lot more than I bargained for. Flint Winter is not something that I think I'd ever want to experience again, if I'm being frank.
I'd also like to remind you that we were just supposed to deliver a package.
Isn't it funny how the smallest of things...
That is how we all met, isn't it?
We were just supposed to deliver a package.
And now here we are trying to tip the scales of a continental war.
Mm-hmm.
As an assigned unit from the Empire.
Yeah, I've been shouting about this for a while now.
I take it this is more than you planned to sign on for.
I mean, I figured we drop a box off, I go home, see the family for a bit, go do something else. And while, yes, that happened, not like this, maybe.
Well, all being said, it was certainly interesting getting to meet Clan Fefwala, as it were.
Not just meet, you guys remember.
It kind of flicks a finger at the earring of just, oh, trust me, it's a little hard to forget. This has... I understand the feeling of this being more than we might be ready for, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, probably, but to be fair, we did punch a dragon to death, so there is that.
You were a bit more brutal about finishing the job than I expected you to be. Eye gouging?
I'm
really?
small. Dragon is big and armored, alright? I took what I could get.
I mean, I understand that, but like, even being the one working alongside a dragon of sorts that has been crushing and gouging enemies, even by those standards, that was a little fucked up.
Yeah, well, also, maybe it shouldn't have messed with us, that's all I'm saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, but this...
My other option was to shove my hand down its throat, and I wasn't into that, alright?
I mean, teeth.
You hear Mahajapa, you hear in your head, I mean, maybe he would have been into that. You don't know.
Just visually putting a hand on his head and just out loud, stop.
Aha. Aha. Aha.
You know what? Just for that, and he summons Glint the Duke out into the cold.
Ah! Fuck! The first words out of the dragon apparition's mouth. Ah! Fuck.
You deserve this.
It is remarkably cold.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm hoping our business here is quick.
I
Is
doubt
it?
the gods are that merciful.
Tell me, Theth. Is it Theth? Yes?
Yeah.
Is it more than you bargained for yet?
I felt it coming in my bones. Just gonna take a real good drink of that one. We're going to sleep soon, right?
Yes. Allegedly.
Yeah, I think Ma is good to just
That's fair.
let Glint the Duke stew in the cold for just a couple of minutes before it's like, all right. I think that's enough.
Glint the Duke straight up crawling on top of Mahajapit and laying across Mahajapit. Just...
You know what? I deserve this.
Yes. You
Just
would
gonna stare.
thump. The big tail in the cleared off snow just thump. But yes.
just after a little bit of just laying there, just turning my head over to Fev, just, my friend, I present to you the former mighty general of the Draconic armies.
That is unfortunate.
This is why you should never get domesticated.
We do our best not
Is that what you call this?
Look, all right? You had meat, there was a fire, it was warm. The ancestors decided to come on by. Hey, these weird hairless dogs to have food.
I think you might be getting some of your histories and lineages mixed up a little bit.
What?
Is your little brain echo thing doing okay over there in the astral plane?
I'm dying inside, Squirtle. I mean,
Oh no, I think the frostbite's getting to his brain. And then dismiss.
Ah, yes. Alcohol. With that weirdness out of the way, yes, on to you guys pack your stuff up for the evening. Very grateful because at this point it is you are
Frigid.
sure in the negatives by this point, and I'm sure more than happy to head back inside the heated yurt. Where everything is nice and warm and lightly smells of frankincense. For reasons no one's quite sure about. Aslan and Pax, you guys are well, Pax, correction. Pax, you are woken up for your watch, while Aslan, who has been up, now unfortunately must leave the yurt. Allegedly must leave the yurt. And as you guys head outside into the very, very cold evening in the pre-dawn hours, give me perception checks. Okay. You guys, very similar. Again, very similar to the rest of the party so far. Get to see the southern lights overhead, the weird mix of greenish, purplish lights dancing overhead. It is. Oh God. Relatively peaceful. You do notice in the western skies, in the far off on the horizon, there seems to be the stars are disappearing.
Hmm. Can you elaborate, or do I need to roll something?
Roll a nature check.
This is not going to go well.
Yeah, you believe there are there's two possibilities. One, the stars are being devoured in the night sky and the end times are here. Or two, clouds are moving in.
Apocalypse it is.
No, to be fair, that's on me. That's my
Did you
fault.
forget that Pax thought the snow was haunted? Because he had no frame of reference for the monster that ate our canoe.
For the bullet, yeah. Yeah. No, you're right, that is on me. You're right. That's me. That's my fault. But yes. That is the scene that you are that you come out to.
Okay.
The sooner we are finished with this task, the better.
I'm not sure there's a way to make it go quicker. But I agree. It's a little chilly out.
Packs with the how about that weather.
Even my times in the T-fold are not this cold.
Oh, I'm sure it's really cold out right now. But I've already lost feeling in a lot of my fingers and toes, so I can't tell anymore. That's probably not good, right?
Usually not. Could partly be, though, because you are still waking up.
That's optimistic. I like it.
And being miserable and reminding myself how cold it is outside isn't going to do anything to make me warmer.
Well, no, you're right. Do you want some ale?
No, I will be fine.
Do you notice that Pax has been taking small sips from the flask on his belt that's not the good red?
Ah, yes, the good red.
Perhaps next time I will I'll watch after Lorenz and ask him to set me on fire before he goes to sleep.
I mean, there's a campfire right there.
There is.
Might want to start smaller, though. Unless that's like a monk training thing? Is that a thing?
Probably is somewhere, but nowhere that I would care about.
Oh, okay.
But
The problem with the bonfire here is that if I wish to set myself on fire without burning my clothes, I would have to remove them first.
I think it's too cold for that.
You see the problem.
so, anything else?
I think we're leaving it at that.
Okay. Well, about a couple hours later and whatnot, the sun does begin to rise in the east. The lights in the sky being chased away by the approaching dawn. Everyone in the yurt is woken from their warm, peaceful slumbers. As the sun wakes, everyone goes about their daily morning preparations. Don't forget your natural healing from being asleep if you haven't already. And as the sun begins to rise, it's a pain in the eyeballs, but clouds the early morning have begun to move in and are promise a less blinding day than the day before, from whence you had to fight a dragon while dazzled.
Oh, thank the gods.
Nice, it's been downgraded to razzled instead.
Hate?
Bye.
Wow, he really didn't like that one.
I thought that was pretty good, though.
Dustin's gone.
That is some collateral damage.
Oh, that's the other big beer.
I cause alcoholism.
Yes. This is how I know I could never date Cameron.
Oh, God.
It's like poison. You build up tolerance eventually.
Buddy, I assure you, I love you far more than poison.
The substance or the band?
Both, actually.
Yeah, they've got a couple of decent songs, but I've never been crazy for them.
Yep.
Yep.
But you know what? I'm really crazy about you, buddy. You're great.
He's gonna kill me.
Uh-huh.
What? What?
I would never intentionally.
Alchemical golem.
Intentionally.
Okay, that was like 80% on you.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here.
You receive a life lesson. I receive the ability to do a shitload of damage to a player, finally.
You receive a new character sheet.
I'm sorry, did you forget Mr. Minotaur?
He did really fuck our shit up.
Yeah, he
Took
did.
out TJ and I in one move.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did fuck you guys up.
that was pretty fucking bad, wasn't it?
Well, let me.
And then there was the Baron campaign one.
Yeah, before when I was still really learning the Pathfinder Second Edition system.
Oh man.
Like we all learned that day.
You all learned that day.
I didn't learn anything because I was down in one hit.
Well, you learned that Jake's dice have it out for you. I think because
That's true. I did learn that.
And they still do, it turns out. Except now they've moved on to everyone. So,
Well, you know me, I like to share the love.
that's true.
It's true. Jake's eardrums can attest to that.
Also, his heart rate depending on the night.
I very much wanted to make a how it started, how it's going meme of your Vampire the Masquerade thing.
Oh, God.
You just tweeting about starting it and then a screenshot of you literally being scared out of your fucking chair.
God damn. Also, that's true, Dustin. What you put in memes is 100% true. So yes, as you all get set up and ready to leave the day, Zendros, you were able to focus and to refocus and lessen your oracular curse back down to currently non-existent. And
A little bit existent.
yeah, you're existent. And as you begin to, you get your camp settled back up, packed back up, everything settled up, and you begin to head along the north road towards Myola. Luckily, thanks to Aslin's, I believe Aslin, you're the one with the scavenger skill this time around,
Or forager.
forager.
Yes.
Yeah. Frankly, what is survival in a campaign when a character has forager?
You're
Right.
too. We've got two sources of you not being able to do that to us.
Yeah.
It,
I mean,
it
to be
kind of-
fair, you could rule that it's, it's too barren here to forage for food.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So you can
Oh,
always
I
make
could.
that ruling.
I could.
In which case, would suck for the rest of the party.
It would. But as you head up north, it's about midday, roughly noonish, when you begin to see smoke on the horizon. And actually, no, I'm going to take that back. About 10 o'clock in the morning when you guys begin to see smoke on the horizon. And as you follow the less trodden path than what was heading to the west, the path north to Myola, very much less traveled. But I mean, it's not difficult terrain or anything. You guys don't have to worry about taking half the time. But it is it's. There are certain points where you kind of like lose the trail for a couple of minutes, and then you're like, "Wait, hold on, wait, it's over there," and then recollecting the path and where you should be. But yes, about 10 o'clock in the morning, you begin to see smoke on the horizon, and as you get closer, you see a few huts and buildings and whatnot. And as you draw closer, you arrive in the town of Myola.
There was a bit that was kind of waiting to hear with the smoke. I was just like, okay, is this controlled smoke or?
Yes, as you get closer, you see that it is chimneys and whatnot from various huts.
Okay. Okay. I want to make sure you weren't walking into like a literal siege or some shit.
Yes, the dragon has set everything on fire,
Even the snow.
especially the snow. But no, yeah.
Okay.
Everything seems fine.
Now, I assume with this just being like more of a town, are we talking like just tiny little outpost or?
I would say it's about a collection of somewhere between 10 to 15 huts.
Little outpost, got it. Okay. Let me look on the map. Okay, so they're right at the end of what looks like a stream, yes?
Yes, the mouth of the offshoot of the water road, the river road. Depending on who you ask, what Kalint native you ask, it has two names.
Right.
Some people prefer river road, some people prefer water road. It really depends on who you're talking to.
And from approaching Miola, can we actually like see this, or is it a bit further like off, like more further north of the town?
From the river does come straight up to the town. But since you guys are approaching from the south, it's a little hard to tell until you get a lot closer. Because it does start here basically and flow
Okay.
into the upwards northward.
Got it.
And as you approach, everyone give me perception checks. He drop it. Now, I'm not going to say Mahajapa just rolled the exact same thing he rolled during his watch, but
Oh,
Sorry, his eyes are a little frozen.
yes.
Fucking National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. Fucking.
Everyone except for Mahajapit notices that there are kind of on the outskirts of town. There are some figures in some gleaming metal armor that you recognize as Roshadrin in nature.
What?
There are Roshadrin guards here.
Oh, guards. Okay, the last word of the sentence cut out.
Oh, fair. But yes, you recognize people from the way that they are dressed. You recognize the Roshadrin kind of heraldry from when you were in when you were in Christervind.
Gotcha. Well, Maha doesn't gotcha because
No, it's understandable.
Maha is just enjoying nature.
enjoying. Yes, that's what we'll call it.
It's a good hike.
Yes, a hike.
I mean, clearly you're not feeling anything, so it's not that bad.
Yes.
Yeah. Just throwing the hood up for my coat, kind of look more nondescript.
Attempt to, anyways.
Yeah.
That's fair. Anyone else trying to do anything?
honestly, with as cold as it was, I sort of assumed my hood was up already. So
Sure.
Yeah. Likewise for like Hood has been up to try and keep the fucking
Right.
wind off the ears and all that.
Sure. So as you guys approach Tamiola, you guys are you can tell people are kind of staring at you. But for the most part, it doesn't look like anyone's really paying you that much attention. All told. You can tell that the guards, the ones in the Roshadran armor and heraldry, are the ones that are giving you the most attention. And as you head about town, you realize Miola does not really have there's no tavern here. There's no or rather there's no inn here or anything like that. It is a collection of houses primarily, and that's about it. Excuse me. Excuse me again.
Is there any kind of little dock on the river road?
There's no official dock, but as you approach, because I'm assuming you guys are kind of heading that way in general.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that there is a single longship, still on the shore. Kind of very, very much half in, half out.
And we already had a boat temporarily, too.
And as you approach, you hear someone call, "Hello! How can I help you?" And as you look over, a elf gentleman, kind of bright red hair, with a beard, a full beard, and more than a few facial scars. His right eye kind of milked over with cataracts and potential injury. And just, "Can I help you?"
Maha finally kind of getting snapped out of his stupor. At last.
Oh, I know. An elf with a beard is fucking crazy. I understand it can be shocking.
But kind of collecting himself, trying to parse the words through the fucking brain and everything freeze. Sorry, we're some adventure passersby trying to find our way around here, making our way through and trying to visit various parts of Kalint and trying to make our way to Wormrest. We didn't have much luck setting anything up further back by Cliffwatch, and noticed this town pointed out on the road. We're wondering if there might be any way to get further along to the capital.
Well, unfortunately for you all, it's not quite the right season to be getting to Wormrest. Most of the ships currently are either out on the river road or out in the ocean, attempting to get their last fish for the season before the winter truly sets in. And he kind of offers out his hand. "I'm Gjarm, by the way. Nice to meet you."
Pleasure to meet you.
Shakes her hand. Just to be honest, we don't get many travelers around around Miola, especially again not this close to winter. So, well, and trying to go to Wormrest, that's a bit of a trek. That's a bit of a travel. I'm not going to lie to you. That's at least a week and a half one way from here, along the water road. And even if more people were still in Miola, likely not many would want to take you. The only reason I'm here is my wife is expecting any day.
I see. That would definitely take travel off the table, wouldn't it?
Yes. Now, that being said, while being gone for 3 weeks certainly is not exactly the best for waiting for my wife to give birth, if you're willing to pay, I would be willing to take you to Holland, just up the river.
How many days and how much?
Holland, if we left right now, we'd be getting there in about 12 hours. And that's if we went non-stop without resting or anything like that. We could get there in 12 hours. Now, my request is simple in terms of taking you there. And kind of 5 gold. And pay for a bed at the tavern when we get to Holland for the night. I can come back tomorrow morning.
Well, that's certainly quite the generous offer you've got there. Though you certainly seem much more knowledgeable about this. You say that things are definitely getting to the season that most ships aren't really tending to go out at this point. What would be the chances of us finding anyone once we're further up to Halland, of finding anyone that would be able to take us further along, or are they also like to be shutting down?
It's like, instead of going the whole way, think of it like hopping from town to town. Finding a boat that'll take you to the next town up the river, effectively. And now, admittedly, it's still very early in the autumn. So you might find, especially close to Holland, Holland is a little out of the way. So they don't get many visitors. And it's, and he pauses, and he kind of looks around and takes note. You can see his eyes tracking each Roshadran guard in the area before just... They're interesting folk. And he kind of...
I see.
Now, Halland was, once upon a time, produced some of Kalint's best raiders. Back when raiding was more of a national pastime.
How the times change, eh?
Quite. They had a giant.
Well, I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and say, well, unless we feel like hoofing it back along the way we came and taking our chances on the roads, what all you say?
And he kind of... How, if I may ask, if I not intrude your party discussion, of course, not wanting to be rude, how many miles do you guys travel per day? The answer for that, by the way, currently is 20 miles a day.
Yeah, I was gonna say by foot. I think we've been managing about 20 or so, depending on the weather, of course.
The weather, and again, okay, any kind of... So if you were to go back south of Mjola down the road and take the main ground road, it'd take about 8 days to get to Wormrest. Bless you. Now, if you were to take the water road, and again, you can go about 43 miles in a day, depending on the ship, of course. You could get there in, I want to say, roughly 4 to 5 days, depending, again, on whatever wacky misadventures you get into.
And Ma just kind of like giving a fake shocked face, looking at the rest of the group. What? Us? Whatever gave you that impression?
And he just kind of motions to the scars on his face and the blind eye.
Seen your fair share too, have you?
Indeed. I was an adventurer once, and then I got married.
This is not in character. He doesn't see half as much now.
I'm glad you said it wasn't in character.
Fuck.
I heard that hurt you to try to hold back.
It did.
Yeah, same, actually.
Mhm. There's also not really anything else in the way of towns to stop along if we
That's
go
along the
main
road.
Is there?
Other than Groff. But Groff is out of the way. And Groff is not exactly the most... And he kind of stops at himself and looks around, just... You know what, never mind, I don't have any room to speak. I was going to say, Groff is not exactly the most civilized or well-welcoming place, but look around us. I used to live in Crystalwind, can you tell?
Never had the chance to go by Crystalwind myself yet.
I don't recommend it. The name is very literal.
Ah, okay. Not. That is a much less nice source for a name than I had hoped it might be.
The wind comes down from the mountains and hits the ocean wind, and it quite literally...
No.
You ever wanted to see what someone looks like when they get filleted by ice?
No, I honestly
I
can say
didn't
that I
either.
haven't.
I didn't either. But yeah, Crystalwind, great place.
I would say I'd hope that whatever fishing business or what have you might be a little bit easier, but I'm guessing with these environs, not quite so much.
It gets easier when you get out to the ocean. But of course, then there's the whole prospect of getting to the ocean. And, you know, considering the... And again, he looks around and clocks the guards and just... But...
Just holding up a hand of just say no more.
And he kind of nods and just... So, 5 gold. That will be enough to... Whenever the fishers return, I'll be able to buy enough off each fisher to last my family till spring. I can get back to fishing. The tavern evening for the night will, of course, put me up for the night, and then I'll be back in the morning, hopefully, in time for my wife to not have burst into labor while I'm gone.
Not to dissuade you, but would you prefer to wait until after you have the kid?
Well, I don't know what kind of timetable you're working on, but that could be several days.
I don't know either. Maha? Do we have a timetable?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, gods, yes, I'm sorry. I'm Gyam, but I didn't get any of your names. Or I'm sorry. And he kind of stops himself. Or was that intentional?
That depends. Aslan's gonna kind of glance at the guards.
No
Off on Rosé here.
No one else saw what TJ did, but he did the motion.
So what was it Aslan just said?
Just Aslan kind of glances towards the Rashad guardsman. Off on Rosé here.
Daily for the last 35 years.
Do they live here?
Yes. They displaced several families to make room. New background. It looks good, actually.
Is that from Cloudpunk?
It's just one of the pre-mates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Amaha just hearing that and just looking to the looking across over at the guards, and then gonna look back to Garm and just say, "You'll have our names once we're on the ship."
Understandable. Well, friends. Shall we be on the way? It is, as I said, about a 12-hour trip on the river to Holland. And if I wager correctly, and he kind of sniffs the air, it's going to storm today.
Maha just very much raising an eyebrow there. Just
You get a nose for these kind of things when you live here long enough.
take your word on it. Well, you think storm would cause us any issues once we're out on the water road?
No, because you see, there's something very, very advantageous over the water road of the water road over the land road. On the water road, you know exactly when you're going off the road.
Also, no snow sharks.
Not this far south.
Wait, you know about those two?
Oh! Sharks, yes, in the water with the dorsal fin. Good eating. Do recommend.
Everything except for the water part. We had an interesting night a couple nights ago.
I can tell. Well, we've got quite a bit of time to get to know each other. Again, assuming this that the price is agreed upon. But I'm sorry, I'm being pushy. Please, I will step into my boat and I will let you discuss. And he kind of grabs onto one part of the longboat, and you hear thunk thunk as he steps up onto the boat.
Well, I suppose if we are wanting to try and continue on with the other part of our goal here, having more actual towns to stop by would not be a bad way to go about things.
Excuse me.
Agreed.
And if we can avoid being stuck walking out in the snow as much, well, I wouldn't be against that.
As you look over into the boat, because it's not very far away. Garm is just holding in the longboat, just.
Well, as you happened to put it earlier, as the only one here with actual hooves, hoofing it is rather unpleasant.
That it is. So, to the boat we go then?
Hello, apologies. Something happened there.
The boatsman.
The boatsman covering his ears.
Yes, the boatman. Yeah, looking over and saying, "Oh, yes."
I think we'll be taking you up on that offer.
Wonderful. And he reaches down and effectively reaches out to help the short, especially you, Mahajapa. Reaches down and helps you into the longboat, whatnot. Just, there you go. Watch your step.
I kind of like the idea of just Aslan picking
Oh my god.
jostling him gently into the mud.
Yay! I see you're familiar with the yeet maneuver. And we
Well,
lost
well.
one. Perfect.
Yote.
Welcome back.
Fucking hell.
Well,
He was offended at getting tossed in the boat.
it's a giant wood, don't you know?
Hold on. Does Mahan know?
TJ got the joke immediately.
But he doesn't, because otherwise Maha would have immediately just been like, don't give me that shit.
It kind of helps everyone into the boat, of course, and whatnot. And
Before, like, getting set to shove off, I was going to say, don't suppose you need anything to check in on your wife? Make sure that she's not going to kill you when you get back over this?
she shouldn't. I'll leave it in my current daughter with her, and she should be fine.
Actually, Aslan will hand over a platinum coin for the payment. She probably will forgive you if she sees this.
Bloody oath! All right. This is double, but thank you. I will not. Any kind of.
I understand the importance of expedience and silence.
He kind of grabs a rod and just shoves it into the coast and onto the beach and kind of gets going and whatnot. Begins to settles himself down into what is effectively the front of the boat, but sitting backwards, grabbing 2 oars, and just starts to row. And it's about an hour or so later that finally just like, no, there's no fucking Rashadrins around. How are y'all doing?
How many sets of oars are there?
Roughly, there's actually only about 3. It is a small longboat made for not as many. It is not a raider's ship.
Right.
It is a personal.
Aslan's gonna help row. She's gonna just man 1 set of oars to, if nothing else, speed them up.
Yeah, same. Lorenz is going to do the same.
I think much as Maha may, like the idea of offering that help, I don't think he's quite got the stature to do it.
Any of you got does anyone here have musical rhythm?
Hold on, I've lost my character sheet. I have too many monitors.
Zendrash, you'll have to look elsewhere if you want something like that.
That is fair. If you look under that top on the other end of the boat, there is a drum.
I have my father's sense of musical taste. I'm more of an appreciator than a singer.
Ah, you're a proper Devarian. Shit.
Yes, is this why I don't like talking around those silver-clad assholes.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yes. Trust you see why fewer words were necessary
Quite.
back on the coast.
Yes. Well, I'm happy we managed to get out of there without causing any personal issues with both you or law enforcement. That's been quite nasty.
I imagine. Have there been any incidents of note?
Not here in Myola. For the most part. Everyone in Myola knew to keep their heads down. Now, Holland, despite being out of the way, that's gonna be a bit trickier, more sore wounds.
Why?
Well, like I mentioned previously, Holland had it has had some of the best raiders Kalint has seen in decades, and especially the giant that they had. And I don't. Has anyone told you what the Rashadrins have done since they came to Kalint?
I'm afraid what we've heard is very little.
They've effectively put every giant they found to the sword so that they can't fight back.
Noted.
Hmm.
there's a they put the raider from Halland and his whole band when they tried to put up a fight to the sword and left quite a few widows and children without fathers or mothers, or some orphans even.
New wounds indeed.
Surprisingly, most people don't tend to get over you killing one or both of their parents.
I can feel you guys looking at Aslan.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
how many Roshadran guards are in Holland?
Well, and again, I tend to just pass through. I don't stay there. And having been taking care of my wife, it's been a while since I have stayed.
Just a guess.
Yes, I would say probably somewhere between 10 to 20.
Do they rotate out or get reinforcements?
I'm
To
afraid
make
I'm not the
outflow.
person to ask for that. I wouldn't know. The ones
Do you
in...
know who we could ask?
Well, assuming they haven't killed him, the mayor. Could also probably ask a few townsfolk keeping their cups. It's it's a mixed bag. But my Bavarian friends, can I answer any other questions for you?
How does Miola get by during the seasons? It certainly seems fairly well out of the way.
We are. Our only saving grace is the fact that we are one of the very few villages that bridges land and ocean. We are one of I do believe 3 or 4, not including the capital, villages that are both on the road but also on one of the extensions of the waterway.
Now, one would think that being on such a rather premium kind of crossroads is that things would be a bit more developed or populated.
You would think, but most tend to just take the waterway. I'm going to be honest. I would say roughly 90% of all travel in Kalint happens on the water road. Now, of course, if you want to head further south, that's a whole other issue, but that is a whole other mixed bag.
I've heard a bit of tell about the South being less than hospitable.
Gosh. Which do you prefer? The yet more freezing temperatures, which, by the way, today is even here almost noon. The sun high in the sky, it is still below freezing. Do you prefer the even colder temperatures than it is now, or with the rune giants?
Sorry, what?
Rune giants.
Can I do like any sort of recall knowledge on if I know anything about?
Sure.
Same.
Recall knowledge, use Arcana.
Okay.
Ooh.
Maha can't brain today.
Brain freeze.
I'll have Aslan roll too.
No, everyone's kind of just a little frozen in the brain today. But funnily enough, actually, Fef, you remember tales from Father Fef when you were young about the Rune Giants and how they were the biggest and the meanest of the giants that ever existed. The ones that fought the gods themselves and tore themselves free and claimed their own empire.
I think we should ally with the God Killers.
I was reading this just that word, just that line alone with no other explanation.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming. I'm sorry. The what now?
Yeah, you know, fought gods.
No, I'm afraid I don't know. What?
How do you?
Sentences need to be formed in full thoughts, Vev.
Oh! Beth!
Oh, not this shit again.
Hey,
I should have recognized by the earrings. I've met a few of your kind in the past. I even traveled with one of your clanmates.
He's fucking everywhere.
well, yeah, we get work done. Speaking of, we're on the job right now. Shh.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. No, I adventured with one of your clanmates like 20 years ago.
Oh no.
He was odd. He was very odd. Went by Delbert.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that's the one we met way, way earlier in the campaign. Yeah.
No, because it's not the same name. But
There was another one we met who had like a different name.
Yeah, who was not a Theth or a Walla.
Right.
Hello, brother. I have decided to call myself.
Whatever the hell
Yeah.
you call himself.
I think
Yeah,
I wrote
that-
that down. Let me check.
That happens from time to time.
It was disconcerting, especially when I met others. Your clan's fucking nuts, mate.
Listen, we do what we can. Also, yeah, giants, large.
Yes, rune giants.
Bigger than large.
I've
Just
admittedly,
doing hand motions even from like big to bigger.
I've only seen one in my time since I've been alive for the last like 150 years, and it was from a distance, and it was easily bigger. One of the biggest, bigger than most buildings I've seen.
That's
Which, admittedly, I know giant, kind of an informed quality, but
No, but like they should extra giant.
I think they get up to something like 40 or 50 feet. Yeah.
God killer.
Well, I mean, if you want to know more, they may have killed the giant raider in Holland, but his wife and daughter are still around.
Fef's face is just gonna light up.
It's not a bad idea.
It's true.
It's a little crash course in giant history. I'm being somewhat racist, I'll admit. I have never met them. I'm just assuming they know about giants from the association of being married and birthed.
Well, it's the most likely source.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. No Man.
Maha will do just fine.
Aha, pleasure. Right, we saved introductions because fucking Roshadrans.
The silver shits, yes.
Yes. I like that, the silver shits. I'll pass it along to some friends of mine. See if we can't get that to stick.
Now, you said that you've come across some of the other Fefs and Wallas about. Has any of the other members of the clan come through any time recently, at least through any channel that you've known?
Not that I'm aware of. It's been I keep in touch with the one I adventured with via letter, but as far as I'm aware, he's living up in the north. For some reason, doesn't like Kalint when it's cold.
Just looking around at everyone, probably still shivering.
Oh yes, shivering, and now ice has begun to fall from the sky.
Oh.
Ah! See? Told ya. Storm.
Good nose on ya.
and he actually stops rowing for a second and actually pulls out a canvas tarp and kind of like pulls it over the where you guys are sitting, and just latch it on there, latch it onto there and there, and he kind of lifts up a pole into the center of the ship, and it effectively makes a tent around you guys. But with
Ma will help with it, attaching the canvas at the corners.
But with also specifically with a slight cutout behind him, and you can see through that cutout where the ship is going.
Handy little setup here, this.
Well, you live here long enough.
You learn how not to get fucked over by nature.
Yes, Mother Nature's a cruel but sexy bitch. That's one of my wife's sayings, by the way. I am married very well.
Roundabouts there.
Roundabout there, Luke.
Thank you, Kit.
Hell!
I will actually take a break from rowing every once, especially like if somebody looks like they're really starting to take a chill to the core. I will like stop rowing just to hold a produced flame near them for a minute.
That's handy.
Definitely would have been a little more useful earlier in life, but very useful now.
That is a loaded statement, and I do not wish to prod any further.
You are smarter than most.
Yes.
That is why you are more alive than most.
Yes. Despite losing vision in one eye, losing a good 7 teeth, and a leg, I'm still kicking. Mostly with the other leg.
I was going to say.
Beat you to it, asshole.
Yeah. I'm Javarian. Humor does not come to me naturally.
It's Tiefvaldian humor. It's no laughing matter. So, how's the Devarian Empire going? We haven't heard shit for Jack in like 30 years.
Yeah, it's just hard to get word out here to Kalint, I might imagine.
Yeah.
It goes. It goes.
Yeah, not fucking great.
I would imagine, considering we still have silver shits around.
There's that, and I don't suppose you've seen or heard about the.
I'm sorry, what? You cut out hilariously at the exact right time?
Yeah, I saw that your camera kind of like stuttered there for a sec on my end too. It's just like I don't suppose you've heard anything about the heard or seen anything about the dragons.
I mean, yeah, dragons are around all over the place.
Yeah, that's been happening all over.
Oh, is that not?
Not in such a rampage.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Kalint. We've got like several.
Also a verm.
We met one.
You have one less now.
Yes, that's happened.
You're shitting me.
No.
And he stops rowing, reaches onto his belt, pulls out a wine skin, just Drake. Cheers. It is honey wine, otherwise known as mead.
You at the mention of the dragons, you seemed fairly unsurprised and nonplussed. Is this?
Yes, dragons are fairly common in Kalint. Admittedly, they tend to stay more south because when you get further north, you get close to the rocks. It's and that can be a little interesting, but
You say this. Have they been? How long has this been a common sighting?
Oh, dragons?
Yes.
Several hundred years?
Oh, so they just fucking do this around here, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
What about really big ones?
Oh, yeah, I heard you mention a worm. Now that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, shit, we have the capital to prove it.
Yeah, about that actually.
Yeah.
I'm a bit curious. That's obviously we're on our way to Wormrest. That's something we actually were wondering about looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
I'm assuming that the name is there for a reason.
Oh, you've never been.
No,
Oh.
I have never crossed the mountains into here, and frankly, from the feeling of this weather, I don't think I ever want to again once we finish our business. No offense to you, but
I'll say, come back in the summer.
You do get summer here.
Yes. It may not be as warm as back in the Empire proper, but it is tolerable.
I'll have to keep that in mind when matters are not so pressing.
More snow, less ice.
That actually doesn't seem so bad.
So
I could probably live with that, but yes, the capital, the name.
Yes.
A history on the origins, if you could, please.
You want to know?
Yes, please.
Very much so.
I feel like I'm going to be stealing some of the grandeur when you see it, but fair enough. No, the name is literal.
Yes, we knew a little bit about that. It is the first place in the known world, effectively, to have killed a worm without on their own, basically.
No, it's the first resting place of the worm that was killed. The city is the skeleton.
Oh. You.
Sorry, I read TJ's lips there.
Yes.
So that we have over the last several millennia, we have built the city into the worm skeleton, and out of the skeleton.
That is. I'll be frank. That's fucking horrifying.
It's really cool.
Utilitarian. It's more horrifying, though, yes, to the point that this worm was big enough to support a city inside of it.
Well, I mean, the city wasn't there when they killed it.
No, of course, but this city now exists within the skeleton of the worm.
Yes.
So it is a skeleton big enough to support the city structure.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the skull. The skull, which is, assuming you go by the waterway, you'll be coming into the bay, which is made out of the mouth. And there's the skull. There's the upper district, and then there's the lower district.
Please tell me the upper district is built on the damn thing's spine.
Yes, actually.
I'm starting to picture this city. Great.
Well, actually, no, not on it. In it.
In it, of course. Why would it be in? And he just starts rowing harder.
Okay, hold on. So you have been to Wormrest then?
Yes, it's where I got my leg. Oh, and he rolls up his pant leg, and it's a metal construct, just from the knee down.
Fascinating piece of work there.
There's a great engineer, I think he calls himself, makes prosthetics. It's great.
Now, just to circle back a little bit.
Yeah.
You said that this upper part of the city is built into the spine. How big is this fucking spine?
You mean lengthwise or heighthwise?
Yes.
Several hundred feet both directions.
What?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, good. They get bigger since the one we saw. Great.
Oh, you've seen one.
It's
burned down like a third of the city we were standing in.
It's fucking metal.
and completely just
feel bad for
smoldered
those
to
people,
cinders some others.
Yes, fire hot enough to melt stone.
That sounds about right.
Glad we're checking boxes.
Yeah.
I still
I mean, again, the spine length is like I want to say at least a mile or two long.
Ma just gonna mentally try to just like, does any of this ring any bells?
I mean, well, they're worms. They were the progenitors of magic before it was stolen. They were the creators of dragonkind. They were the which
Yes, but just with all due respect, if they were that size and that powerful, why the fuck did they need you?
ow. First of all, second of all, have you heard of the concept of the hammer and the scalpel?
I see where this is going.
Sometimes, when you can level an entire continent by breathing, you need a delicate touch.
I'm sorry, but trying to associate you with delicate, I'm having a bit of
I'm aware of the
disconnect
irony.
there.
I was not built for delicacy, that was others.
Infinite cosmic power. Doesn't know polymorph.
Cameron James Smith. I swear to God. Cameron Zeta Jones. I swear to God.
Cameron Diaz.
I got two questions for you then.
Yeah. Mr. Havoc?
Yeah.
Hey!
How the fuck did you kill it?
Oh, I didn't. It was dead centuries before I was ever born.
How the fuck did they kill it?
Rune giants, like I said.
Not going south. Second question. Do you guys worry about necromancers?
If a necromancer that powerful comes along and manages to pull that shit off, frankly, he's earned it.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. He or she.
I think I'm starting to take some sort of sick joy out of how practical Kalint is.
You're welcome. Also, thank you.
Well, again, when you live in environments such as this, you have to use everything to your advantage, I suppose.
It's admirable. Crazy, but admirable.
That's the kindest compliment I've ever been paid.
That's just sad.
But yes, to somewhat circle back on why Wormrest in particular was of such interest for us, as we said, dragons have started showing up all over the place, including the waking of that worm that leveled some cities and just completely obliterated parts of others.
That sounds like a fucking problem for the Northerners.
Well, we were...
I'm sorry. I did not mean to make light of the tragedy and death of thousands, but I wanted to make that spooky boy laugh.
We were hoping to try and find some kind of answers as to how to handle if said worm is to return again.
You're getting to the right place.
It was last seen flying off to the east of the continent.
That's weird.
But I will say, having an answer out of Rune Giants is more than I expected to actually end up getting, though I can't say that's really an answer I was hoping to get.
I've heard that the Rune Giants, being made what are referred to as rune stones, where they chronicle history. I haven't heard of any this far north, and that might be something you have to go to. But if you want to know an exact history, that might be something you might need to go south for, and if that's the case, I'll remember you fondly. Because, and I do not mean offense here, none of you look strong enough to handle a rune giant.
I do not doubt that. When we're talking about something that is being referred to as a god killer,
Well,
I like to think myself capable, but I also like to think I know my limitations.
a god killer. I mean, that could all well, depending on how you view the worms, I suppose.
I would say that something that predates and was the progenitor and creator of magic probably qualifies on the same level as some deities.
Yeah. You're not wrong. So, you're here in Kalint from the Devarian Empire. That's wonderful. Any idea when we're gonna get the fucking silver shits out of here?
With any luck, very, very soon.
That's what I like to hear. I'll drink to that.
Well, you'll especially have something to drink towards in that if all things go according to plan, you're helping those that are facilitating this.
No kidding. Well, assuming you are successful and not killed, I'll be able to brag that I helped the freers of Kalint, and not brag about helping the murdered seditioners. I'm sorry, I did not mean to be dour. My wife tells me I take my jokes too far.
Frankly, I think with present company, I don't know if that's possible.
All right, so this one time I was fucking a goat.
Okay, maybe I'll take that one back.
I've
Don't
never.
talk about weird.
I'm
Don't talk
pretty
about
sure we saw somebody doing that back at the mound outside the forest.
For the record, I have never had any relations with a goat. I wanted to see what would break you, frankly. Like
Congratulations. Found it?
I believe you. Technically, I think they're called rams on mountains that high.
He said he fucked a goat, not got fucked by one.
Double entendre.
As you can see, you're all going to have to work harder on most of us.
I appreciate that. A great big deal. Oh, I would have killed for some humor like this back when I was an adventurer.
It was a rather humorous lot then. Oh.
The only one who ever got my jokes was the former Fef.
That doesn't surprise me. I'll be
tracks.
honest.
He never, and I quote, I get your attempts at humor. They're not funny, but I get it.
That also tracks.
It was very hurtful.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
Wow.
Kidding. Didn't think that was going to be the one that crossed the ore line.
Is this the part where we tell him what your previous line of work was?
Oh, was he a prostitute?
Maj is very much going to just like kind of jaw drop and narrowing the eyes. Just, I'm not sure whether to be flattered or offended at that.
He uses his mouth a bit more than one.
Roundabout mouse.
Just taking a deep breath and just, to be honest, the job was a little bit more embarrassing than prostitution. Politics.
Oh, fucking hell! Oh, you fucked up. We're at war. You fucking fucked up, bud.
The job of a diplomat was
oh God, you're a diplomat.
something.
Out of character for a minute, but when you were saying that whole "you fucked up" thing, you sounded exactly like fucking Shorzy from Letterkenny.
Oh. Oh God.
Yeah, it seems like a lifetime ago sometimes.
Ah.
Kind of wish it were at some points.
Oh yeah, that's the general from what I've heard for most politicians. But no, I'm sure you did your best.
Was that an in-character laugh?
Yeah.
Ma is going to just very quickly turn to Pax. She's like, the fuck was that?
I don't know, sleep on it. Maybe you'll remember.
Okay, one time!
I'd say one was all it took, huh?
You're not wrong, but fuck off!
Very somber, serious music going on in the background. Meanwhile, this party, not that.
I mean, a man is currently getting murdered in front of us, so...
That's true. That is true. Oh.
As you can see, we are quite the peculiar gathering of souls.
Frankly,
Peculiar, eclectic, fucked up, take your pick.
I've been lacking that for the last several years. So, you know, wonderful to meet you. You've brought excitement back to my life. Oh God, I'm turning Irish.
What's Irish?
Oh God, I've broken the fourth wall.
In truth, we could probably use a little bit less excitement. At least for a little while.
Well, that's fair.
We are in the wrong place for that, I know.
Wrong place and wrong business.
We started by trying to deliver a package.
Oh! Did you succeed?
Bring that one full circle.
Thank you.
You
You're welcome.
started trying to deliver a package. Well, did you deliver it?
We did.
Oh, good.
Eventually.
Yes, eventually, and shortly before the aforementioned third of the city being burned to the ground.
Ah!
Unrelated, I promise you, but that did happen.
And you're sure it was unrelated?
No.
Technically, we're not.
But you're relatively certain?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Good enough for me. Again, I've been in the adventuring business. I know how that shit is. Well.
So I take it that did the adventuring take you much elsewhere, or was it mostly here within Kalint?
No, I would say I went all over the Empire, frankly, back when we were part of the Empire. Well, mostly to the southern half of the Empire. I've never been to the desert.
Hmm.
But I've been
So
around.
so you never would have seen the cities that are not there anymore.
Oh. Oh, it hit the Hasir princes and whatnot. Oh.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. I had wanted to take my wife there after we she had our second child, and we had they were.
Well, was there any particular one that you were hoping to visit?
Oh, I think Zashor was probably a.
About that.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
It's gone.
Your
It is
just gone.
To the ground.
Wow! Holy shit! Just gone.
That worm was no joke.
Apparently. Fuck, dude.
Actually did modify our map in order to show the current existence of Zashor as it stands. It's very grim. And I pull out the map and
The giant
Where's that-
blackened spot.
yeah, where Zashor was has literally been burn smeared, basically.
I imagine Lorenz just taking an inkwell, putting a quill in it, just dripping the ink over that spot, and then just psh, with his hand.
Effectively,
Oh,
as it was relayed to us, this is what remains of Zashor
fuck.
and the Hircir princes as a whole.
Well,
Actually, so they're left quite not quite untouched, but they're not quite as destroyed as Zashor is. But bigger problem being they have seceded from the greater parts of the empire on account of the reason that Kalint is probably not exactly feeling too kind towards Devere right now. They haven't heard from them since the fucking incident, so.
oh, well. For us, at least, it's a little forgivable, considering we're behind enemy lines.
On the other side of the mountain, surrounded by a frozen fucking sea.
Yes, thank you. See, again, I keep telling people, guys, the Deverian Empire will be back eventually. They've kind of got a predicament in the way.
Predicament, and of course now the dragon problem also being a problem.
Yeah, dragons are a problem. Yep. I mean, admittedly. Yeah, get some Kalint adventurers around on the problem, and you'll get.
So that's what we're working on, I think, is the.
That does make sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yup, back here. Row the boat, boss. Row that boat there.
and with you guys heading up the waterway towards Halland or Holland, depending on who you ask. We'll take our
Hello.
break.
Holland.
We're heading towards Holland. We'll take our break there. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. And yeah.
And the bullshitting will continue.
Yes, you'll
100%.
we'll pick back up with you guys having reached Holland. But yeah, see you guys very shortly when we get back.
All right.
See y'all in a few.
Yeah, catch you on 10.
Hello, everybody. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh, right button. There we go. Let's see. Let's get a check. Okay, Dave's here. Justin, are you back?
No, I'm fucking dead.
Oh, okay. As usual. Dan, are you back?
He's still muted, so probably not.
I forgot that I had clicked my mute on Discord. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey. That's fair. Ugh. All right. So, as we return back to the session, as you guys spend the next several hours with Gjarm on the river, chatting all the while, finding Gjarm to be a true Duvarian if sympathizer, if not citizen, and just very much like, all right, fucking let's go. Effectively, in regards to your mission. And as the day goes on, the ice storm subsides, and the canvas is pulled back, and the rowing continues, and it is a solid 12 hours of rowing. Azalin and Lorenz, I'm going to say you guys have a point of exhaustion. Oh wait, it's not a thing in this setting. Shit. But no, you guys are definitely enfeebled. 1, by the time that by the time night falls. GR, meanwhile, just
That's fair.
and more than anything, just still going, and it is about 10 o'clock in the evening. The sun up, and well after you guys tend to sleep. That you see firelight and on the horizon along the coast of the river, and for long, and your arm just that it is Holland.
Made some good time.
Yes, I'm fucking exhausted.
Still have our eternal thanks for helping us with this.
You have paid me enough gold to be able to look after my family for most of the next year. I assure you. The thanks is mine.
Well, with any luck, hopefully, if things go well, there'll be more than just gold here in the coming weeks to months.
Yeah, you have my prayers. Prayers still work. Prayers.
I hope they do.
Yay.
We'll see what can be done.
Yep. Then, and he kind of rows in and gets you guys to the dock, and kind of throws a rope over before quickly hopping up onto the dock and whatnot, and effectively, securing the tow rope and what. Yeah. Welcome to Holland. And he quickly turns around and walks down to the dockmaster further down the dock, and you can see in the now darkness, because there are torches around and whatnot, but they are somewhat sparse in order to. But you can see gold being exchanged or silver being exchanged and whatnot, and just hi, we're all good.
Excellent. Oh, don't suppose you know a good tavern to set up for the night, then?
The Stuck Pig is, to my knowledge, the only tavern in town. So,
To the Stuck Pig it is.
kind of nods and leads you guys along, and again, despite the fact that he is missing a leg, you from his gait you could not tell otherwise. As he walks along with you guys, and as I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's the general like size and overall look of the town?
Holland, in comparison to Miola, Holland has about, and it's hard to tell because it is dark.
Right, of course.
But from
Just
what you can
initial
tell,
impression.
right, you see more people stumbling around drunk at night in Holland than you saw in your entirety in Miola.
Okay, so a bit more of a proper town, more so than the little outpost that we seem to come across then. Okay.
It's small, but it's not desolate.
It's not
Mule is
bumfuck
a
nowhere.
hamlet.
Yeah, Miola is a hamlet. Right, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Holland's like
That-
a
that's-
village.
Yeah, that's a much better sense of scale then. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And as you guys step into the Stuck Pig, it is effectively like a one-room floor plan, with tables themselves kind of stuck into the mud, tables and benches. There's a fireplace on one side to your left. You enter with a kind of bar, and behind the bar you can see like a doorway into a proper kitchen. And then off to the right is a staircase, or not a staircase, but a ladder, actually, that leads up through what you can see as the ceiling.
Okay. All right, so probably safe to assume up there would be where any sort of beds would be.
You could assume so, for sure.
All right.
Oh, one moment. I meant to open the blinds before we keep going again. A moment. Sorry about that. But yeah. As you approach the bar where who you assume to be the bartender, a very broad-shouldered and broad-chested, human-looking person, blonde hair, gray streaks along the temples and leading off to the rest of the hair. And just, hello, how can I help you, travelers? That time I didn't do it. I didn't do that one. I did not do that one.
I just pictured Homer Simpson going back into the bushes when asked that. Just.
But yes, hello. How can I help you? Drinks?
Gonna look to the group and specifically to Lorenz and Aslan. Just don't suppose you guys need something to eat before we bed down for the night?
As we were coming into town, did we happen to catch an eye of how many silver-clad assholes there are?
Give me perception checks.
Okay.
I imagine might also be a little bit hard with it being dark and all, but
Yeah, exactly. That's adding to
Dark
the
vision.
yeah.
That is adding to the DC check for sure.
Yep.
Japin and Theth. You two really noticed more than anything that there was for sure some guards around. But they mostly stuck out of the shadow, or into the shadow, more than anything. So that, like, say for Lorenz or for Zendros, it looked like there were no guards around, but if you were observant enough, you could see the glinting of the metal of their armor, with the hints of the Roshadran heraldry, and whatnot.
I'm assuming the dark vision played a little bit into being
Yes.
able to catch those details.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a thumbs up and a nod.
Well, let's set us up with a round of meals and set up 7 beds for us for the night, if you could.
7? Okay. Let's see.
Maha's already reaching for his.
That would be 14 silver.
So, okay. Maha will go ahead and hand over 2 gold. Because I assume that there's also going to be the matter of the meals to go with it for.
Holy shit. Thank you. For sure. It's greatly appreciated. God damn. Yes. So the beds are through the through up the ladder there. They are effectively first come first serve, but naturally, it is there are beds for all of you. It is just a matter of which bed you get. What I'm saying is there are beds enough for all of you. I just can't guarantee what bed is what.
Whatever system works. We'll manage.
Yes.
It's,
Can I just do some beef stew?
oh, that sounds heavenly about now.
Wonderful. And he heads back into the back of the kitchen and whatnot, and before long, comes out with a tray, effectively. And there are benches and tables within the main area. A few different groups. It looks like out of town groups are kind of claiming their own spot and whatnot. But you managed to. I'm assuming you guys finding a table. Managed to find one of your own, and through sheer size, muscle out other groups that would have been sitting there. And he brings out a tray. Just yep, beef and potato stew. Drinks. Anyone like ale?
Ale would be fantastic.
Yes, please.
I am going to hold up my partially drunk flask and ask him to just fill it up.
Sure. Okay.
Fuck it, I'll take one as well.
A. Okay. Okay. Well then. All right. And he heads back and behind the bar and. For long, 4 ales are coming out. At the 5, if you consider Yarm. Yarm absolutely having one.
Oh, for sure. I'd expect no less.
Yes. And thank you, Fred, for allowing me to partake in your hospitality.
Eh. We owe you our thanks for even getting us here in the first place.
Cheers! And he tries to lift up his ale mug, and it quite legitimately just... shit.
You
My
all right
arms are
there?
quite tired. Aw, rude.
I just look at him. I'm not feeding you.
That's understandable. Give me a moment. Ah. Fuck.
Quite the show there.
Yes, go fuck yourself. And with this whole floor plan, one of the things that you do realize about this place is the fire pit doesn't really have a proper chimney. There's just a lot of smoke in the area, effectively. There are windows, of course, that are letting in kind of like fresh air. But this tavern is definitely a smokier area than what you would expect, generally. Well, I see. Nothing lets out a draft more. Didn't. It's not exactly the safest floor plan, but it does retain heat a lot longer, especially for the beds that are upstairs.
I see the sense in it, I guess.
It can be a little iffy, but it does serve a purpose. And with that, you guys are bedded down. Does anyone want to do anything? Actually, I should ask.
No, just eat.
Yeah, pretty much just recover my energy and just
Yeah, I think that especially for Aslan and Lorenz, just taking it easy, getting our rest.
Yeah, Aslan and Lawrence, you guys especially, even as much as you use your arms are fucking sore. And as you guys head up to the ladder and whatnot, and head upstairs, and the upstairs is effectively it's a large commons room with bedrolls set out. It's nothing fancy. There is no separate rooms. Just up to 30 people sharing a room and sleeping together in the same room.
Figured it would probably be something like that.
That being said, it is easily one of the warmest sleep nights you've had since you've got to Kalint. Like there's a lot to be said for the lack of privacy, but it's warm. The point where, like, even with your sleeping bags, or sleeping rolls, you are like, oh, got warm in here.
Toasty and cozy.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing really out of arm's reach for Lorenz is going to be his armor, because he's tucking his bag up under his knees, like just draping his knees over his backpack, and then the shield, as it usually does, goes underneath where the pillow or head part of the bedroll would be, and then the sword stays within hand's reach.
That makes sense.
Just the moment he saw it was a communal area, just how he set his place up, set his little space up effectively.
Right.
Fair, that's fair. And even Gyorm, just kind of and good night, friends.
Sleep well.
And you. And come morning, about 7, 8 o'clock, you guys wake up, and it is warm for once. You can hear and in a way feel the fire down below, in the main room. And I will say it is probably not the best sleep you guys have ever gotten, as you are sharing the room with about 10 other people. There's a lot of gas that has been passed throughout the night. You hear everyone kind of shifting as they kind of try to get comfortable. And it is, again, not the most private sleep you've ever gotten. But you never had to worry about shivering. And by the time you wake up, you do note that Gyorm has already left the sleeping roll that he was in when you guys went to sleep.
Taking off early, huh?
As you head downstairs, there is more stew available for breakfast, whatnot, and alcohol, should anyone wish. And everyone's kind of more just quiet than anything. There's not a whole lot of joviality in the tavern compared to where you've been previously. It's
right.
It's kind of dour, but at the same time, it's not depressed. It's just dour's not
Very like reeled in and sort of like conservative. I
yes,
guess.
Exactly.
Okay. Just getting a glance around the tavern. Are there any Rashadran guards?
No, there are not any Roshadrans dressed in Roshadran heraldry and whatnot. You do recognize, or no, you don't recognize, but you kind of piece together that one of the other groups at one of the larger, who has conglomerated a few tables, from kind of piecemeal armor, but they all wear kind of red and black tabards. You wager it's probably a mercenary company of some kind, stopping in for the night.
Okay. Noted. I'm assuming, he was out of the bedroll, but I'm assuming is Gyarm also just not down in the tavern any longer
Yes.
either?
Yeah, when you get down here, you do not see Gyarm here either.
Well, here's hoping he makes it on back to his wife in good time.
I concur. He seemed affable for an elf.
I'm not going to ask what you mean by that.
Elves are cunts.
I take great offense to that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you've probably said that about all of the mortal races, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so I won't put any stock in it.
Understandable.
So, we'll try and sit and get ourselves set up with another little table for getting our breakfast.
Sure. And it is provided without any real fuss or any additional charge.
Okay. So, now that we're here, do we want to try and set up our way further down the water road as quick as possible, or see what else we can piece together out of Kalint here?
Keeping his voice pretty low. It might be wise to. This is where the mother and daughter are, no?
Correct.
Might be wise to gather the information as is possibly presented.
So, I'm assuming just going around and asking anybody at random about trying to find the old family of a former raider might not get the most favorable looks.
No.
So the question is where to start with that then. Or something in the meantime.
If they lived with a giant, maybe look for the bigger house.
That's adorably straightforward, and I love that.
It's also not terribly wrong.
That's
Something we might want to consider, though, is that the little sergeants are not hesitant to force people from their homes if they find need for the structures, larger buildings they may have
Yes, I would
wished to
also.
procure for their own.
Yeah, it might be wise to check outside of the city some distance. Just people are loath to leave that which is familiar to them, even when they are forced from it.
just remind me. I know you said that the sort of assumed mercenary company kind of looking group had a sort of set tabard to them. Was there any sort of insignias that were
It is
visible
a
on them, or
red backdrop with a black symbol of a hog's head.
okay? Would there be any kind of recall knowledge of potentially recognizing if that's a symbol of any group I would know?
See here. Let me figure out which one that would be. You can recall knowledge for sure. Maybe recall knowledge of diplomacy.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, recall knowledge off my warfare skill, or is that purely for tactical shit?
I'll allow it. Regardless of what it's supposed to be, I'll allow it.
Makes sense.
Right, exactly. Okay. Both of you kind of recognize the heraldry as the hilariously apt the Hog's Blood Mercenary Company. A fairly well-known company. Mostly for, again, in the pre-war era, would do business all over the continent. But since the war has, people have kind of stopped hearing about them since the war that you guys are aware of.
Well, something that may be a potential bit to look into would be possibly seeing what the Hog's Blood Company is doing here. If they've been known to work around the whole continent and the Empire, maybe some potential allies to be gained through them, though having not heard much of anything about them since the war, alliances could have changed, so there is potential risk with that. Certainly wouldn't hurt to try and get in the good graces of a mercenary company, especially if we're aiming to do what we aim to do, but, well, if colors have been flipped, then that would be a predicament.
Yes, it would.
So, I ask, do we take that chance, or do we try and learn more what we can about them before we do anything to approach?
Anyone?
Like, do we want to try and make the first move with talking to them, or do we want to see what else we might be able to learn about them before we see about extending anything to them?
I'd like to know more about what they're doing around here.
Same.
Yeah, that's fair.
If they've already been hired out, or if they're waiting for further employ, or something like that. Like,
Right.
if we try to approach them and they've already been, and silver has already crossed their palms, basically. Unless we could cross it with more silver, that's our ass.
Right.
So, what actions do you take next?
I think that potentially trying to just ask either around the, as being in a tavern, that is a good place to, pry some loose lips, or we could try and go about town. I'm kind of curious about finding out more about the Hog's Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I think possibly trying to gather some information.
It's definitely a line of questioning we could follow a lot more easily than trying to ask after the giant and family.
Right. And I figure that most likely we might be able to potentially follow after doing the Hogblood see if they know anything about, like, with being a
Right.
mercenary company, if they know anything about the raiders, where we'd be able to find former home of the raid leaders and them. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Do we want to start with just trying to whisper some rumors out of the tavern goers, or do we want to actually, go about the city to try and gather some info?
If it was later in the day, I'd say try the tavern goers, but
With it being morning, yeah, it's
yeah,
probably people a little too sober to
right,
lose slips.
exactly. Yeah, that is a thing I actually was kind of curious about. Seeing if being a little more out of the way as Holland is, if they would have some sort of eye protection for groups out in the
Blinding snow.
groups going out into the blinding snow or living in the city even during the blinding snows. I'm not holding out hope, but then if anyone would know, it's the natives. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure. Let me give me
Might be
a.
something to prowl the markets for.
Sure. Well,
Well, I'm assuming with this being probably a smaller village, markets is probably a bit too generous of a term to hope for. Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, no, it's not exactly, again, not quite markets.
Probably a general store or two, I would
Right.
guess.
That kind of thing, right?
Folks selling shit out of stalls that happen to be in front of their homes.
Give me diplomacy check if you'd like to try and. Damn, nice. Yes.
So because it's a gathering information, I can use my society instead of diplomacy because I am streetwise.
Hey. Okay.
Society.
Every time. Without
Every
fail.
time. But yeah, this is a gather information check. So if you would like to try and.
Oh, my body. Well, it's okay. Maha did all the work for us.
Right. I will say, by the way, also, Aslan and Lorenz, because you guys helped row Yarm's longship, you guys get an extra hero point.
Oh, shit.
You have 3 hero points.
No.
You want to try that again?
Yeah, it would be 3.
Yeah, fuck it. At that point, I've got hero points to burn in a theory, so.
Hey, by the way, a level 10 creature has shown up.
And no matter how much luck I press, that's not going to help me in that situation.
Oh, hold on. A what now?
Called my penis, Dave.
Oh, no. We can't show that on Twitch.
No.
It's better.
It's not an automatic step down. So.
Yeah, you know?
Now, Maha, on the other hand, god
I
damn.
might be a little high for that Oreo.
True. That'll be on a Pornhub stream.
Anyway.
No, Facebook stream.
There you go. Instagram live story. Anyway.
Meta.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that, Dave, because I will get started on a tangent. However, yes. Yeah. You guys kind of... You don't find anything regarding snow goggles or anything like that? Or like a way to see through the blinding snow when it is blinding. Most of the locals seem to just kind of hit you with confusion when you mention being blinded by the snow. Huh? Eh? Especially because today, it is about as cloudy as it was yesterday, but not. Oh god, it's not icy as it was the day before. But it is definitely snowy. as the snow begins to pick up early in the morning, about 10 o'clock or so, and shows no real signs of slowing. We're going to say the sound of snow, but you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I get you.
Anyone that's been around snow and has listened to it falling from, like, your back porch when there's no other sound around?
Howling wind, hearing it patter on glass, shit like that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing the snow hit, the falling snow hit the snow that's already fallen.
Right. If it's a wet snow, then yeah, there's definitely some bit to that.
And for reference, let me see here. It's about 24 degrees out at Bormist. So that's later in the day. Now it would be about like 10 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. It's very cold.
I don't like it.
Oh, sir, don't like it. Okay. Yeah, as far as, are there any, like, you said there's nothing in the way of, like, the snow goggles and stuff, but are there, again, like, the sort of general stores or anything?
No, you don't really find anything in regards to a general store. No. It's less stores and more just people, honestly. You get the feeling that this town is less like one that people do commerce in, or that they go to other places to do commerce in.
Gotcha.
Bless you.
Sorry.
One or two exit hotel town along the highway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, definitely getting those vibes then. Alright, well then, in that case, how do we want to see about potentially following that other line of finding out about the Hog's Blood company? Do we, like, if there are any people that are, selling whatever, do we want to just try and approach them, or do we actually go back to the tavern, or just wait until later in the day for see if the Hogbloods, if they end up leaving, and then try and ask around, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna say if there are any people doing trade in town would probably be the first to ask, because technically they're inviting being talked to, and that's how you're gonna get not blown the fuck off by a bunch of people who have to live these very practical, harsh lives.
Right.
And then after that, yeah,
Alright, so yeah, if there is anybody that's, peddling or hawking anything, see if we can maybe get a hold of one of them and just ask if they've, heard anything about this Hog Blood company or what they're doing here.
Didn't...
What's up?
Was that Artemis?
No, that was... Oh, go ahead.
Didn't Gyar mention something about potentially talking to the mayor if he wasn't dead?
he did.
Yeah, that is a thing. I suppose we could see about asking about the mayor's office, where that would be. And I guess, do we want to just try and talk with one of the hawkers first and then see if they can point us to mayor's office, or get the news about the mayor, if that would be?
Yeah, because the idea that we can talk to the mayor if the mayor's not dead.
That is a statement.
Yes.
Roll a d20 to see if the mayor is dead.
Right. Roll a mayor's dead check for me, please.
Oh, so his kid's a rogue.
Hold on.
fuck off.
Come on, Jake. Is the mayor's child a rogue or not?
How do you know? How do you know the mayor has a child?
I don't. But if he has a child and he's dead, he's a rogue.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a bard. Fuck you.
Parents are probably still alive, but one of them's a dragon.
I had to tweet this.
Oh boy. Now I have to open Twitter.
Just that statement alone.
And he's not even the GM.
Right?
I'm not.
But yeah, no. So you guys are gonna look for, ask about the hogs bloods, or as Dan put it, the hoggers, to see if you can track down the mayor.
I did not say any such thing. Don't try and put that shit on me.
Pretty sure you did.
I literally didn't.
The alcohol tells me you did.
God damn it. No, we're not trying to inquire about the level 15 human quest. No, we're just trying to... Fuck you, I remember Elwyn Forest too, but no,
Shut.
no, yeah, any hawkers first, of course.
Oh, hawkers.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, hawkers and peddlers, like anyone that's
No,
selling
I
shit.
thought you came up with like a clever nickname, for
No.
like the Hog's Blood Mercenary Band, and I was like, oh, that's really clever. I'll use that.
Too much credit.
Yeah,
Way too much credit, apparently.
Right.
Damn. Wanted to give you guys a fucking compliment.
Overthinking it a little bit there.
I can see where that line of thought and like what
Yeah.
you think you heard, I can see where that came together, but unfortunately, no. Something hog champ.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I'm disowning you, Dan.
As if you haven't already.
No, Dan, that means you're free. Run! Dobby is a free elf. Master's giving you a sock.
Run to Missouri. We'll put you on the couch.
He ain't got no couch.
He doesn't know that. Bitch, you drove 10 hours. You thought you would get a couch. Never mind. You're in the bed now, bitch.
Oh, you assume that I have a car that would survive a 10-hour drive. You know my fucking luck with cars.
But yes. So to get back on track,
Yes.
you Mahajapit and Lorenz, you guys look through the you kind of ask around and whatnot, the general population, the folks who, as you said, are in fighting conversation. Cameron.
It existed already. I did not make that. It already
Oh, I
existed.
hate it.
I like how your only disclaimer there was, I didn't make this.
I hate
I
it.
feel I have to qualify that statement occasionally. Because I do make shit. I did not make that. I will take no credit or blame. That's like I'm posting it.
Frankly,
Now
I'd have been
people blame-
impressed if you did.
I'm not that quick.
The Hog's Blood Mercenary Company,
Right.
as you discover, is just passing through. Fuck all of you.
Wait, I didn't
But-
do nothing.
Right, but actually though,
No, yeah. No,
that is actually...
from your gathering of information, they've been here the last 2 days. From what you can tell, they're waiting for their next deployment.
okay, so they're effectively on leave at present.
Right.
Alright. Okay, that actually is quite handy, I would think.
Yes.
They're causing some trouble, but not a whole lot.
No, they're rowdy mercenaries.
Hey,
allowed to sit on their hands for too long.
Like, fucking water's wet. What else is new?
Yeah, right.
You do, however, gather that if trouble that is too much trouble tends to happen, the mercenary commander does tend to crack down on it pretty fucking hard.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So what you're telling me is there's a couple Marines off base that are making trouble.
And when they get back to base,
They're gonna get their shit rocked. Yeah, I understand.
Fucking what?
I don't suppose we got a name of the company leader?
you did not.
Okay.
No one really seems to know.
That is fair. I figured that might be something that's a little bit more... Not necessarily hush-hush, but just people don't necessarily need to know that.
Right.
Okay. That is good to know, though. Yeah.
Okay. Got to be taking some notes.
Oh, while you are doing that, I will actually follow the questioning of inquiring as to the mayor.
He's in the town hall. Why? I mean, if he's not at the bar getting drunk, he's at the town hall.
Never know when you need to see the mayor.
Oh.
I'm sorry, just...
He's fighting his accent really hard.
He to mask his accent, he turns into Pax.
We call that his Paxent.
I think I just felt a blood vessel break.
That was mine.
Oh!
Dustin's getting upset.
TJ seemed to like it.
I loved it. That was amazing.
But you can't just lob them up like that.
Can and will. Because I take great joy in it while they all suffer.
I'm not suffering.
Well, not you. And you are excluded from the position of suffering due to puns. You're like naturally immune.
Just for reference, when Jake was talking about clever nicknames for the Hog's Blood Company, I sent TJ a link and a line of dialogue, technically.
Yeah, Porker's on the prowl from the Doors Riders on the Storm.
Guys, it's been fun. This campaign's been
really?
a real blast. However, much like a blast, I'm gonna go blow my own fucking brains out.
Brain blast.
Much like Jimmy Neutron.
God.
Oh no, he's gonna Courtney Love himself.
Oh.
Womp womp.
But okay, so Mayor's not dead is also a good bit of information to be receiving.
Right. No, the mayor's not dead. Just kind of hasn't been in charge for a while. From what you gather.
Yeah.
Something puppet government.
Right. The statement, if he's not at the bar getting drunk, he's at the town hall, is one of those like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that was a very dismissive answer about said governor or mayor.
Right.
And from what you gather, he used to be the leader of a well, in his heyday, he was the leader of a war band, became the leader of the town, relegated the war banding to other people, and then the Roshadrans came in.
And fuck that all up.
That all went
Mm-hmm.
not good. Okay.
So let's go find the town hall, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. I guess sort of Lorenz, do you want it to just be you and Maha, or do we want to get everyone together to try and find the mayor and talk to him?
we can.
What do we even like? I suppose what do we even want to try and talk to the mayor about,
Right.
other than like maybe finding out about like this warband that had the giant and like where.
That's what I
families
was
ended up.
thinking.
Okay.
Because if he's being tossed around, like having had his position tossed around the way it is, he's actually one of the few people I wouldn't mind talking with about that subject.
Right.
Because of all the people that are going to go, who the fuck are these shady people? I should tell the Roshadrins about them. He probably wants fuck all to do with them, unless they're paying him fat silver to get drunk and stay quiet. Which is something we can figure out while we're there.
We can figure that out and maybe just counter offer.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a meet
okay,
and
let's,
greet with some extra topics involved.
All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab everyone and find the town hall then.
Yep.
And as you find the town hall, not that hard. It is what is referred to in these parts as a longhouse. It is kind of what it says on the tin. It is a house that is very long.
Short apartment. Got it.
Bitch. I hate that what you said made utter sense to me immediately.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
Dan's much nicer about that than I am.
Yes. No, and as you guys approach the longhouse, it is there are some What? Oh. Oh, the Foundry chat. Cameron.
If I don't acknowledge him, he can't get upset.
You want to bet? How much HP you have? Yeah, huh?
Better watch, or he's gonna go all Eustace bag on your ass.
He will get his mallet. Anyway, longhouse. Angrily chews chips.
I'm only slightly sorry.
So, you approach the longhouse. And where once you feel guards should have been, there are not anymore. As you head inside, the wide double doors into a room that at one point you see long benches and tables with a long fire pit in the center leading up to a raised platform where a large wooden chair is sat that is empty. And the fire pit is not lit. The torches on the sconces are not lit. It is just dark and cold.
Just looking over to Lorenz. Getting drunk at the tavern then?
Maybe, but this might be a good time to look around.
Fuck it, we're already enough of troublemakers. Why not get ourselves into a bit more?
That's the ear just...
Yeah, I'm ready to go rummaging.
Alright. So you said that there's the chair at the raised platform. Is there any sort of, I don't know, I guess desks or cabinets or any kind of storage of anything in here?
Not in this room. Also, give me one moment. I need to go take some ibuprofen.
Okay.
Ankle probably flaring up.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, I had
I'm
a
actually a little
feeling.
surprised you went this long.
Yeah.
Ah, I see my Discord has crashed while I was gone. Bitch.
Yes, crashed and reconnected.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, so. Oh. No, so as you want, no, there is no. The fuck? God damn it. Discord is being
hates
rude.
you today.
Right? No shit. God damn. But no. So, no, as you asked previously, there is no desk or anything like that in this area. It is just the long row benches and the raised platform with the intricately carved chair at the front with just there with its own private table. Private.
This is an audience chamber, basically.
You get that feeling.
Okay. Are there any signs of like other doors going further in then? Or-
There's a few doors and whatnot scattered around. They're in the kind of like the shadows and like kind of hidden nooks and crannies of the building. You get the it is definitely like not the focus of the room.
Right. Well, on the one hand, could definitely try and find some information. On the other, if the mayor were to walk in on us, snooping about the place, might be a bit harder to convince his cooperation.
Most certainly. Is there fuel in the long fire pit? Like,
There are coals, yes.
but no, like, just so it would be one that coals were set in rather than
Timber.
Yeah, timber.
Yeah.
Do they look? I mean, do they look recent, or like,
It's hard to tell. Honestly, it's hard to tell. There is no warm glow to them. So they have not been activated in the last several hours. They haven't been alight in the last several hours. But past that year, don't know. God damn it! Discord, stop fucking me! Jesus!
Fuck. I'm gonna actually like reach my hand into the ashes and try to like find the heart of the ashes themselves.
Okay.
Just to feel if they're warm, because that'll usually stay warm for the better part of a day.
Yeah, and they're not. You can
Okay.
reach your hand in entirely and not burn.
It's cold all the way through.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen use in a while, I take it.
Not at least in the past day, maybe two. This is cold ash down to the bottom.
How many taverns are there in this town? I presume not too many.
I believe. Why is his name escaping me? Fucking
Gorm?
Gjarm, was it?
Yeah.
I believe Gjarm said the stuck pig was about the only one in town, didn't he?
Believe
Yeah.
so.
Well, unless we want to really take our chances with snooping, might be best to just try and look for him there.
No, I think this gives us a lot of information in and of itself. The place is unused.
About that time, you see a woman, elf or half elf. You're not 100% sure. Kind of approaching out of one of the servants. You're not supposed to be in here without a audience. What are you doing here?
Pardon, we were just wondering if the mayor was in.
No, he's not.
Understood. We will take our leave.
Oh,
Sorry
do you
for
know where we can find him?
Probably getting drunk at the alehouse, or I don't know, shitting with the pigs.
You're his wife.
No, I'm a servant.
Oh, good. Thank fuck.
Ma actually stifling a laugh at that one.
That would have been super bad.
Kindly leave.
We will do just that. Sorry
Thank
for the
you.
intrusion. I'm turning around and off we fuck.
Being
Yeah.
being none too gently shoot out.
Yeah, off is the general direction in which we shall fuck.
Kind of left in the outside of the longhouse. Around noonish, the snow continues to fall. It has become, at this point, a proper blizzard.
Shall we hurry ourselves back to the stuck pig then? See if we can't catch the mayor.
Indeed.
I guess we'll just go ahead and head right back.
Okay. That is still in town. The blizzard is at this point making it pretty hard to see about 10 feet in front of you. But because you are in town and there's fairly easy pathways to follow, you do make it back. Excuse me, back to the stuck pig relatively easily. And at this point, the Hog's Blood Mercenary Company has left. They're not there anymore.
Okay. Well,
There are a few people here and there all along the long benches of the tavern of the hogs of the stuck pig, but
I was hoping we might be able to get something out of the hog's bloods, but no matter. Guess we'll head up to the oh, that was a face.
it was a good neck crack.
I guess we'll just go up and approach the tavern keeper and just ask. Might be a bit of a dumb question, but I don't suppose the mayor frequents here?
I. Whenever the fancy
he-
suits him.
Just kind of looking around. I take it, is he not here at present then?
And he points to a bent over, slumped lump of furs and hide on one of the tables.
I would like to roll a perception check against the lump's furs to see what kind of condition they're in.
Okay.
I will explain why if I pass the roll according to you, or when you tell me what it looks like.
I'm assuming from where we are, it's probably we can only really see furs and stuff, but...
That's all I'm looking at.
It is a person slumped over on the table. You can see a flagon in hand. Lumped over on the table. You had to wager. They're probably drunk as fuck.
I probably didn't word this well. I want to check the actual condition of the furs and crap he's wearing.
Okay. It's good quality.
Okay. I'm going to say probably not getting bribed by the Rashadrim then, if his clothing is shabby.
That's a good point.
Hold on. Be that as it may, might still want to be a bit conservative with how we talk loose lips and all.
Fuck.
What?
God fucking fuck shit fuck.
What? Just say the thing.
The news has broke within the last 24 hours that a Berserk live-action adaptation is already being worked on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
By who?
Hollywood.
Yep, just can't let a good thing fucking die.
I'm pretty sure my eyes just went bloodshot.
Someone already pointing out that the only man that should be chosen to play Guts is Nick Cage.
God.
He may not look the part, but it will be entertaining. Let him channel Mandy.
God.
That's just every Nick Cage movie, though.
Anymore, yes.
He doesn't look the part, but it's entertaining.
100%.
But yeah,
Well, what do we even say to the guy?
Oh, let's see if he's awake first.
Ask if he wants a drink.
We know he wants a drink.
Well, yeah, but it's polite to ask.
You know what? I'll let
We
you
don't
handle
need
that bit. Fuck.
How big is the table he's sitting at?
it's
it-
one of the benches that is like it seats 12 overall.
Okay. I say we just go sit down next to him to start and see if he reacts at all.
see if he's already drunk himself out of his wits by, like, what, a little after noon right now, you said?
It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon by this point.
Yeah. Let's see if he's out of his wits, and that would also be some information at that point of these affairs and the state of things. All right, yeah, fuck it. Let's just go and head over, and I guess Ma will just get like a seat at the bench next to him. Just mind if I sit here?
For a second, I thought he was trying to sing "Whoa, Black Betty" at me.
I hate that I heard it.
Same.
Yeah, that response is not a fantastic line.
What do you want?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that in common?
Fuck you want?
He asked what we want. I'm semi-fluent and drunk.
I don't suppose you'd be wanting to lead this conversation, then.
Fuck no. That probably knows it better than I do anyways.
I'm a little worried at the prospect of that as well, I'll be honest. You're the mayor of these parts, yes? Oh, no.
Has not lifted their head yet.
This is where we apply the cold water technique to the face.
Or a warm drink.
Maha at this point actually just kind of stopping and like cupping a hand over his mouth and just, oh god, what do we do?
He has a flag in hand already, yes?
Yes.
What is in it?
It's empty.
Of course it is. I'm gonna take some fucking water from my water skin and pour it into his flagon. And just gesture from Maha to the drink to him.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna just kind of like give a little bit of a tap at the mayor's hand, like by the wrist. Like, here, drink up, bud.
Punk! Slams the flagon into his own face. Or lifting his head up. Fuck, that's water. Bitch. Throws the flagon in your general direction, Mahajap. It misses entirely. You hear it stick in the mud somewhere nearby.
Okay, at least cognizant enough to recognize water.
Bitch.
That's a start.
Still nicer than the lady who worked at the longhouse.
Is it though?
Yes.
I mean, she yelled at all of us, and he only threw something at you, so...
Did he actually sit upright? No. What did it, like... He basically just tried to pour the water on his own face, realized it was water, and then...
He went...
Oh, good. Gibby.
Ma, at this point, just going to kind of like not even really acknowledge Mary at this point, just look to them, just, do you think there's any hope of us trying to wait for him to sober up for a conversation?
Sober.
You want me to try?
Just stopping for a moment. Just, are you trying to go for the scare sober tactic that you had back in fucking what was that? Go Great.
No, that one was ineffective.
I almost shudder to think, but probably beats anything that I could do. Chat him up, why don't you?
Who said anything about chatting? As Aslan goes to start picking up the mayor.
No, the fucking.
And assuming I don't need to make any checks, she's going to carry him outside.
Give me a strength check. But other
Make
than
their athletics.
yeah, athletics. Easy. Yeah, easily could just lift him up over her shoulder and just whoop.
Gonna carry him outside. And then drop him face first in the snow.
Why does he get cold? Oh shit! Fuck! Oh,
And she's also going to basically step on his back to keep him in the snow for a little bit, just to make sure that he sobers up a bit, or becomes
The
alert.
shock is over,
right.
yeah.
Boom.
And then she'll pick him back up.
Oh, why?
Questions.
Oh gods, why?
We will buy you a drink when we are done, and then carry him back inside.
As you're carrying him, throws up.
I was gonna
Does
say,
he throw up on Aslan or no?
Depends on how closely she's holding him over the shoulder.
roll a reflex save.
Yeah, roll a reflex save. You managed to just barely avoid, and by just barely I mean you can feel him heaving before it even begins, and then suddenly just you're like, oh, that's a bad idea. And you just kind of hold him out like a cat. You hold him like a cat that's about to throw up, and you just watch him off to the side before, and whoop, and continue on as if nothing had happened.
And set him back down in a seat.
Yep, go.
Also, I don't know if it was actually established. Is he like human, dwarf?
It was
elf?
not established yet because you hadn't really seen him, but he is a he has dwarfish features, but does not appear to be a entirely dwarf.
Okay.
Graying hair. It's hard to tell what color it was originally. Kind of a nose that goes and just goes every which way. With a long bushy beard.
Okay.
What do you want?
Well, I trust we already have been able to see the answer for this, but we were wondering what the state of things in Halland are as of late.
Fucking shite!
So we can see.
God's damn Rashadrins came and stole my fucking city. God damn it. Fucking.
Can't have been easy to deal with that.
Oh.
This place used to be a bit more known for their war bands and a bit of raiding back in the day, yes?
Our war bands were the best raiders in Kalint. And then they came in, killed all my men and women. And no one else. I don't know if anyone else to fight.
Well,
You said that you had your own band that you ran with, yes?
Years ago, just decades ago.
I don't suppose there was a giant among your ranks?
Oh, Harold. Harold's great raider. Great.
He was among you then.
He led his own after I
What happened with Harold?
after I became civil leader. Harold rose up into the challenge, led led the war band. You ever seen a giant charge castle walls?
Not firsthand, though I have seen what a giant can do to some stone walls before.
It's beautiful. That man was 15 feet tall. He could just lift someone up over the walls. It was beautiful.
What happened with him?
Give me a diplomacy check. It's Dad and Rashadrins came in. I muted myself on accident. Whoopsie fuck. I got too into it. The fucking couldn't have fighters on their hands. He killed him.
Can't have been easy losing a good man like that.
He killed him. He killed everyone loyal to him. So they broke everyone's spirit.
Did Harold have any family that he left behind?
Was a widow and a daughter. I live outside of town.
Which way?
Eastern part of town.
East end of town.
Go about 2 miles.
Miles out of east. Okay.
Gates. What walls? Fence? Fence walls? Wall fence. Boom. What?
Not done yet.
Oh. Damn it.
You said they took out all of your men. Why'd they leave you? Was it just because you were mayor now and not part of the raiding groups?
I don't know. I haven't fought in a long time.
Do you still think you could? Not in shape you're in right now, but
my bloody noses.
Well, aside from you, do you know any other old warband members that avoided the sword?
Hello.
Let him sleep.
Hump.
I'm gonna look to Azalin and just, well, certainly got him more sober than I expected. Got more out of him than I thought. Well done.
Certainly for him, I did not have to go any further than I did.
And for that, I am glad. You go ahead and start standing up from the bench and give the mayor a little pat on the shoulder. And, like, well, sounds like we have the Giant's old family that we could potentially look in on. See what else we can find out about the warbands and everything that's come around.
God damn it. I'm a fucking scream.
Please do not.
I won't. Or that would be discourteous to our neighbor. But I am very displeased with Discord tonight.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, Facebook was kind of screwing me. Or Facebook. Discord was kind of screwing me at the start of this. I was just looking at Facebook until I saw it.
Right.
Well, shall we see if we can pay a visit to Harold's family then? Or is there anything else we want to take care of here in town? I don't know if we're going to get anything else useful out of our ale-sodden friend here.
I am curious about something, but I don't think the drunken mayor is the best person to ask about it.
And what's that?
I'd like to find out more about these rune giants. If they're as powerful as we were told.
Perhaps there would be some use in trying to ally with them, yes. I could see that. Though, and finding someone knowledgeable on them, and of course even trying to set up any kind of alliance would be a task.
A difficult one, to be sure. But one I do not think we should ignore.
I believe you're right. I'm not sure what would be the best route to follow to try and come up on that, at least for the present. I don't think that small village like this seems like it would have much in the way of, be it communications or records for anything like that. We may have to wait until we're in Wyrmrest proper to find out more about them.
The family may know something. Giants communicating with giants in the area seems potentially logical.
Certainly could be. Well then, shall we see about paying a visit then?
I believe it would be wise.
Alright. So, he said the Giant's family was to the east end of town, about, what, 2 miles past?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. Taking a trip out east then.
Hey. As you...
Though, actually, with it being blizzard conditions currently...
Yeah, we should probably wait for the blizzard to abide.
Might want to wait. May potentially need to bed down another night. We'll have to see how that goes. But
if you're...
I don't think that trying to wander outside of town, away from roads during a blizzard is a wise course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know... You're right. Damn you and your strong survival instinct. No, I'm kidding. You know, the blizzard does kind of keep going for the rest of the day. So if you guys are going to wait out the blizzard, it'll take at least another day.
Okay. I feel like we can probably get away with just sticking at the tavern then. I don't think there doesn't seem to be much in the way of stuff in the town for us to really be doing, unless we want to try, like, snooping around, finding anything out about the Rishadrans. But, again, out and about in a blizzard, probably not the greatest for that.
Nah, not really.
So yeah, I think just spending the day hunkered down in the tavern is probably not a bad way to go about things for today.
Okay.
To try and wait out the storm.
Okay. As you wake up, it's definitely cold as fuck when you wake up. The snow has subsided. I should say the snow has lessened. It is not quite blizzard conditions, but it is still snowing fairly heavily outside as you wake up. To yet more hearty beef and potato stew.
Yeah, just a bit of a huff and just... Well, wish we had Gyorm's nose to tell us when this storm is due out.
It will be a talent we develop by the time we're ready to leave.
Of course.
And not a moment before. You know, actually, I would say this is a good point to call the session. Actually,
Probably.
Yeah, honestly.
That's all right. Yeah.
you guys are in the Holland, the stuck pig. Kind of watching the snowfall, intending to visit Harold's widow and child when you get a chance. Whether you want to brave this break. Not quite break, but lesser part of the snow, or wait until the snow stops entirely. That's you. We'll see next session. What kind of adventures the party can get up to next session. Thank everyone for watching. Everyone here, all of you guys, give yourselves 100 XP.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of combat. In fact, no combat this session, but good role play. Good role play. Yeah. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you for sticking by, and listening in and watching. Hope you all had fun. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with I had to check which weekend it was. Yes, we will be back next week.
Oh yeah,
3 weekends. Yeah, see you guys hopefully next Saturday evening for more Pathfinder 2nd Edition fun. We will see. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.